go live. There we are. We are live at 12 minutes in. All right.
Squirrel!
Yay for squirrels.
You know, I've been staring out at my window because it looks like, not too far away, but in the distance, it looks like there's just a wall of white. And I've been trying to figure out if it's cloud or snow.
Could be both. Could be both. You know, there you guys got a fair bit of snow down there. So
yeah,
not as much as we got, but a fair bit.
Yeah. And it's wet, so it's breaking branches all over the place, causing some serious havoc.
Yes, it's a wet snow. It was dry here, but it was still sub-zero, so it was easy to shovel. That's why I shoveled it this morning, was because I knew that if I didn't get it now, it would be a hell of a bitch to shovel later as it gets wet. It's a lot easier to shovel when it's dry.
Snow is evil.
Yeah, that it is.
Good workout though.
Oh yeah, well I got my gym workout this morning. Shoveling and moving snow. Lots and lots of snow. It's quite
I've threatened my kids with dragging them for a walk down the Galloping Goose in the snow. Mm-hmm. If they don't if they find themselves unable to focus for school, I'm just going to take them for a nice long walk through the snowy pathway.
Yeah.
That should tire them out and make it possible for them to focus.
No, that should
get rid of their pent-up energy. They're like, I want to go have a snow day. It's like, no, you're not having a snow day. It's a school day. Get back to school.
What, their school doesn't close like every other school in the district did?
No, actually it didn't, because they're online.
I know. That was the joke. That was the joke, is that, you know, they do homeschooling, so their school, there's no such thing as a snow day.
There are random holidays that it doesn't make sense for them to take. So it's one of those things like, why are we taking this day off of school? They do homeschooling, they could still do their schoolwork, but they still do it. It's weird.
Yeah, well, take a pro D day. You know, that's the day that the parent gets to have a meeting with themselves and a bottle of wine. Oh. Yeah, winter is upon us this year. Although it's supposed to be warm for the next couple of weeks. It's warming up to 3 to 5 degrees for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you know, they've actually been fairly spot on for the weather for the past couple of weeks, but I still have a hard time believing their forecasts.
Oh, well, yeah, it's when they're wrong over 50% of the time, you just gotta take it as it comes. Like I go look at the satellite images that are coming in to sort of figure out what might be coming our way.
Makes sense.
A couple of good places that I get some good satellite imagery from to see it. But it is pretty decent for the most part. Lots of fun stuff in the queue.
The place that I live in has gotten so dry since it started snowing. I'm shocking the cat.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's it.
I haven't had that issue since I lived in Alberta.
Yeah, well, then when the humidity drops, the electrocution goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed I zapped a couple of things in the last couple of days. Humidity will start rising again. You know, now that the dampness is returning to the air. Yeah, snow really pulls humidity out of the air when it's sub-zero snow.
It really does. I was up a little late last night, and the wind was blowing so hard, it was actually hitting our window. And even during our giant rainstorm there, it didn't hit our window. So it was weird to hear something against the window here.
Yeah. Well, snow blows around. It's up early this morning for some reason.
You could shovel the snow, obviously.
Well, that's probably what it's like. I know what it was. We had a minor power outage this morning. I think the absolute silence in the house woke me up. You know, I didn't hear computers or anything running, so it's like, boom, it snapped up for a minute. Must have, or when everything came back on. But yeah, I had a brief power outage. Lasted about 15 minutes.
It's interesting how loud quiet can be.
Yep. Quiet
I
is
never
deafening.
really understood that when I was younger, but I get it now.
So silent, it's deafening. The deafening silence of the forest. Yeah, because
The forest is never truly silent.
Well, no, but it's more silent than your cities, your house.
That is true.
There's always noise in the forest. The breezes, there's animals, there's rivers and streams and creeks and all kinds of things, but it's a different kind of noise.
It is indeed.
Let's see what we got. We're coming up on it. Getting close. Getting close to timing. Alrighty. I think, well, we're not quite close enough. We got to wait just a couple more minutes here. Got to fill the air with something else besides silence.
I remember a scene from Mastermind. I really love that cartoon. The scene in Mastermind where they're trying to load up the death ray because but it takes a really long time because it's solar powered.
Uh-huh.
That was great. And that's kind of what this is reminding me of. We're ready. We just got to wait a little bit longer. Just a little titsy bitsy bit longer.
Yeah. Get it charged. Charging. Get the doggies charging. Right.
I really do like that show. I wish they would make another movie of Mastermind. It's one of those cartoons that they could just keep going and put him into all kinds of really weird situations, kind of like Sherlock Holmes. But I have a feeling they probably won't. They did their one and done.
Yeah, well, could be. Who knows?
A friend of mine was actually reading out to me this list of actors who really hated each other, but they were like on set, they were lovers or they were best friends or what have you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what acting's all about.
Show business, the only place that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yep, get up there and put into a character and just act away. Doesn't matter whether you like them or not. Pretend to. That's all acting is. All right, I think it's time. We can have some music carry us up to showtime.
All right.
Claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In the search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Saying they're right or wrong. I ain't no Texan dancer, Lord knows where I belong. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. crossroads. Is he yours or is he mine? Story don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devils at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devils at a crossroads, jokers doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, before we can get started, I just realized I forgot something fairly important here. Forgot to set up the backup recording device.
That is a bit important.
That's a little bit on the important side.
I also wanted to bring up, just before we get the show going, I wanted to bring up the fact that we are wanting to start the show at 11.
Yes.
Just to let our listeners know right off the bat, we're going to start the show at 11 moving forward. Today is the last day. We're going to be starting at 12.
Yep.
So
today is the last day.
Tune in an hour earlier to find us. At least if you want to listen live. If you don't want to listen live, then it doesn't matter.
All right. Why aren't you recording? You're all set. The little red record button isn't coming up.
Because it's too cold.
There we go.
As good a reason as any.
Now it's recording. There
Excellent.
we go. All right. Backup recording device is engaged. All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this little thing rolling. Off we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
Lighten up the new year with WordPress plugins. It's episode 543, and we have plugins for Rocketfire, Mojo Authentication, Confetti, Hot Swinging Images, Newspaper and Style, Date and Time Shortened, and ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the winter wonderland that is the Oasis, deep in the heart of the Cowichan Valley, digging ourselves out of over a foot of snow. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber Overall.
And we have the usual great show for you today. Of course, a couple quick things right off the top. Welcome to the new year. It is a new year. It's 2022. Who, God only knows what's in store for us now, man. The crazy has not stopped. But we're here to bring you WordPress plugins A to Z, continuing on after taking a break during the Christmas holidays, and we've got a few things to catch up on. Don't forget, though, before you get too far deep into this, we are back with the Q&A segment with Amber. For those listening on the podcast, you will want to check out the YouTube version, which has some stuff before and after the show, and the rest of the Q&A segment, which we tend to split up. All of that being said, I think it's time for me.
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
There you go.
And I don't think I'll ever get sick of that one. I need to have that clip so I can just play it at you randomly.
Oh, you probably turned it into your ringtone for your phone.
Only for your number.
No, that's what I meant. Ringtone for Daddy. Oh, Dad's calling.
So this is episode number 1 of 52 episodes for 2022. We sort of kind of skipped over the end of 2021 show. We decided to take our own advice and just go spend some quality time with family and friends. Also, some good booze as well. The snow has decided to give us one more good kick before heading off for a bit. It dumped enough snow and freezing rain on us to keep most of us inside. Those of us that have to go outside, I hope you're keeping warm, or that whatever took you outside is something you enjoy, and not having to like slog through the horrible weather, because that sucks. Remember, keep in touch with your family. Be sure they know where you are, so if anything goes wrong, help can find you. Stay safe and warm.
Absolutely. All righty.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John Overall.
Whatever.
We need a new jingle for that. So for our listeners who like sending jingles, we need to change a jingle so it says Amber instead.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing I have is the Ithemes Part 1 Vulnerability Report for January of 2022. It is the first report, and they don't have too many things that you really need to worry about. I put the list here, so I'll just name off a few of them. Lab Tools, Error Log Viewer, Learning Courses, and Perfect Survey. This one had 5 major errors, and the plugin was closed down. So for the Perfect Survey, you're really going to want to deactivate and uninstall that one.
Oh, absolutely, man. Get rid of the broken ones that aren't being fixed.
And then since I missed the Ithemes Part 4 for last month, I decided to bring that here as well. This one has the same kind of list of things. It has a lot of plugins that you want to pay attention to, though. Like, there's a lot, and things like Parsian Bank Gateway for WooCommerce, and Magic Post Voice, and WooCommerce My Payment Gateway. There's a lot of things here that you want to pay attention to.
Yeah, a lot of plugins that were closed down. So you want to look those ones over and see if any of those plugins you might use.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I brought this one because I had a lot of a rather large list.
Yeah, the HT Access Redirect was a fairly popular one for a little while. So
yeah,
so that's something you want to look into.
Next thing I have for everyone is Gutenberg Hub launches a block-based WordPress theme directory. This, I think, will be very useful for people who are using Gutenberg. It seems to be an actual directory to help you understand the various things. They kind of parceled them up so that they're easier to find, is my understanding. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It is.
A little surprised they didn't do it already, but...
Well, they get around to things when they get around to things.
Next up, WordPress 5.9 to fix lazy loading performance regression, resulting in 30% faster page loads in some cases, which means that the lazy load is no longer lazy about doing its job, which is great.
Excellent.
It's a great thing. I don't know if it's 30% across the board, but it said up to 30%, so you may not have even noticed the difference if you recently updated.
Yeah, we've got WordPress 5.9's coming out in another week or so. Somewhere around the 14th, I believe, is when it's due to be released. And it's a pretty major upgrade. There's a lot of stuff coming. Have to do some research to find out what's coming down the pike on it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun times.
Next, I have 5 reasons to look at putting a carousel into your site to help it grow. So this is actually a pretty good article. I wanted to bring it to people's attention. If you're working on websites or if you do your own website, what have you. A lot of people don't actually use carousels, or they weren't. It actually does help. So it's 5 good points. Like, carousels lead to higher average engagement rate, which is true. Using more carousels can help you increase your engagement per impression rate, but don't use too many, because if people see too many, they're just like, nah.
Yeah.
They lead to more comments on Instagram, which can be good or bad. And they're more likely to be saved by Instagram users, which is very true. And they also increase, they can help you increase your engagement per impression rate, which I think is a good point as well. So I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent, useful article to go read. I'll have to give that one a little bit deeper dig.
The next one is a fun one. Microdosing is now a thing.
It's been a thing for a decade. It's just now hitting the news.
Yeah, well, it has been a thing for a decade, but now it's encouraged.
Yeah.
Because, what could possibly go wrong?
No.
So, very specifically, according to new research from the Institute of Psychiatry, Psychology, and Neuroscience at what college? King's College. I put kind by accident. At King's College in London. Of course it's in London. Psilocybin, a psychedelic drug isolated from the psilocybe mushroom, can be safely administered at doses of either 10 milligrams or 25 milligrams.
Yeehaw. Let's start microdosing mushrooms, get more work done.
Yep. It's they're going to be using it for mental health.
Oh, well.
So
everybody needs that now. Okay.
It could be very interesting.
Yep. All right.
And the last one I have in our regular news is, contrary to popular belief, middle-aged entrepreneurs do better. Which I do agree with.
It doesn't surprise me.
It's because they've already got the experience of, well, I know this will fail and I know this won't. Whereas when you're in your 20s, you're just gung-ho. You're like, yeah, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yeah. Well, as they say, age and treachery beats youth and strength every time.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, that's a good wrap-up of articles and everything we've got.
And of course, there's always the extras. I threw in some cybersecurity stuff, and how to clear cookies and cache on your Android phone, and just other stuff for your phone. A bit about Google Chrome. Some good stuff in the extras.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Alrighty. Well, now we need to talk about all of our producers and supporters for this show.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A to Z.
Absolutely. We like to acknowledge and welcome and say thanks to all of those people who help this show keep going by providing either time, talent, or treasure. And we do like to start off first off by talking about the talent and that is provided for us. And we start off by showcasing the artwork. And for those that watch the YouTube version, you get a preview of the artwork before the show is published. This week's art
has done it again.
Yes, Greg has produced another beautiful piece for us for 2022, bringing us into the new year. And so a really great, nice, smooth, simple, golden piece, bringing us into a golden era of the show. At least that's what we're hoping for. So thanks a lot, Greg. It's really great. I really liked it. It was very useful. Meant I didn't have to go create a new 2022 logo or a piece of artwork for the show. So thanks a lot. Anyone else out there who would like to support the show by providing their talent to the show, you can go submit your own artwork at wppluginsaToZ.com/artwork, where you can sign up for the art generator and submit your artwork to the show. And we like to change it every week. We've been changing it every week now for going on 3 years or more, which is really kind of nice. One of the few podcasts that does that. All right, we do want to... What?
I was just going to say the changing of the pictures reminds me of Jones Soda. They always had a different picture on every single soda bottle.
Yep, they were different. Made them different.
Yep.
All right, we do like to acknowledge that we have those that provide time to the show, and they provide time by either helping out with the photo gallery, which is what Jess is doing for us, and we've got Charlie, who's helping us with contests and other things happening. So we do want to say thank you to those that support it. We all have other things that are needed for the show where you could provide time if you have it, and we'll help get you set up and moving forward with that. And we do like to acknowledge those that support the show with their treasure. Now, we do have an executive producer slot available for anyone who donates $50 or more to the show. And you get your note read out and an executive producer credit that you can use anywhere producer credits are. You know, everyone should be a producer of a podcast at one time or another. But we do
agree. It makes you feel pretty awesome.
Yes, it does. And I do want to thank, though, there's a few folks out there that kick us a few bucks each and every week and each and every month, you know, to us. You know, it's not much, but it's a little bit acknowledging how you feel about the show. So thank you very much for those small donations. And if you'd like to commit those donations, all you do is go to wppluginsa2z.com/donate to donate to this show. All right. I think it's time that we dig into the meat and potatoes of the show. Off to the depths of plugin depravity. All right, this is where we talk about ClassicPress and WordPress, and I don't have anything for ClassicPress. I'm not working in it, so I have nothing to dig right now. Anyone out there that uses ClassicPress, hey, reach out to us, let us know, and we'll get that information into the show for you.
There is one thing here. ClassicPress announced at the end of 2021 the first public release candidate for ClassicPress 1.4.0.
Oh, okay. Well, that's new. I didn't realize that. All
yeah,
right. So
I don't think we have any link for it or anything, but it's a good thing to know about.
it is. If you're a ClassicPress user, that means they are still advancing and moving forward. Good for them.
Good news.
All right. What do I have for plugins? The first one I've got for you this week is Swinging Hotspot Interactive Images. This is kind of a cool plugin, and it's got a very useful feature in that you can take any image and create active hotspots on it. And what you can do with those active hotspots is set up things such as information spots. You could do a map on there and have hotspots for different areas of the map for highlighting stuff. Very nice, decently useful plugin that can help make your images a little more interactive, such as, you know, this one here showcases, you know, you mouse over El Capitan, it gives you a nice picture of El Capitan, or different hotspots through the different things in here, highlighting different parts of something.
That is so cool.
And this is what you can do with your images using this plugin. It's a really great plugin, something useful, and go check it out. And it is Swinging Hotspot Interactive Images, and I give it a 4 Dragon rating.
Well, that definitely shows up mine. Mine is just fireworks. Rocket fireworks. This is actually, I have to say, it is actually pretty cool. It does have an upgrade, so it's free, and you get 6 options of how you want your fireworks to appear on your site, which one of the cool things that they do is they actually give you sorry. They actually give you an example. So like when I downloaded it, I went into the menu area, and for each option they have a little thing they say that says example, and it shows you what it'll look like on your screen before you even choose the option. So you don't have to choose the option, refresh, go into the site and check it out. You actually get to see it before you even choose it, which I thought was just the best idea ever.
Nice.
Yeah. It doesn't play nice with other plugins like it, like Halloween Panda or anything, but, you know, most of them don't play nice together. Otherwise, it's pretty awesome. I rate it at 5 dragons, even though it is like a freemium. It's still pretty awesome.
Very cool. All right, the next one I have for you is newspaper columns. Back to the good old days of newspapers, and this is a Gutenberg block that you can use for your site. And what it allows you to create is anywhere from 2 to 6 blocks or 2 to 6 columns of content, much like the old newspapers used to be. Having published a newspaper, there's a reason for those columns, because those columns of text, if you get them to the proper width and the font size, it actually makes it easier for people to read the information than having long paragraphs of text across the screen. Mm-hmm. So it engages people, makes it easier for them to read the stuff. So this could be something useful. I've seen plugins like this in the past, and I have used them, and they have been very useful on certain sites. Not every site wants to use something like this, but if you have a site that's text heavy, this might be a solution to help keep people on your site and actually reading the text. You just got to get the widths appropriate. But considering nowadays that most people are on a phone and they're basically in one thin column anyway, it's kind of an interesting one. I don't know how this works when it goes down to mobile version, but for the most part, it should be okay. At any rate, go check it out. It is newspaper columns, and I give it a 4-dragon rating.
That is very nice. Now I'm curious, though. How would it work on a mobile, huh? Next one I have is MojoAuth, Passwordless Authentication. This is designed for people who are rather forgetful like me. And what it does is it reminds you and your users when it is time to change out the password for security reasons. I remember plenty of jobs I worked in where I had to log in, and after a certain period of time, you had to change your password. And it's a good security practice for a large amount of people. And I know I would never remember on my own. So this is a pretty decent plugin. It is a third-party plugin, though. Mm-hmm. So they say it is free forever with email support, but it's not really free. You're paying with your information. Mm-hmm. That's how you pay for it.
Yep.
It is pretty good if this is something you need. It's kind of one of the few I've come across that's like this, where it's a reminder a reminder for you to change your password rather than a password memory or something.
Yep.
I definitely recommend checking it out. If this is something you're interested in, I rate it at 4 dragons.
Very cool. Yeah, the third-party thing is always kind of problematic when you're dealing with something like that to me. All right. Mm-hmm. The next one I have for you is WP Date and Time Shortcode. Now, you may not need something. This is a very simple, straightforward plugin. It just pulls the information from the WP Date program, or not program, but the stuff that's built in there for date and time. It pulls the date and time from the PHP. But with the shortcodes, you can display it in numerous ways. You put the shortcodes anywhere you want, put them in your header bar, put them in a sidebar, put them on a page, but it'll display the current date and time in whatever way you want. Whether it's just general settings or month, day, shortened days, hours, days in a month. There's a whole lot of choices with this. I just thought it was a useful one because there's sometimes when I really do want to put a date into a header or something, and I just don't want to hassle with stuff, but I want something that'll stay consistent and keep a consistent time up there. Very useful, straightforward plugin. Go check it out. It's the WP Date and Time Shortcode, and I give it a 4-dragon rating.
I could see a lot of uses for that. I'm always looking for the date on articles I read.
Yep.
Last one I have is called Confetti. This is actually a pretty cool plugin for getting joyful confetti onto your site. It does have an upgrade, but it's only $19 for a single site. So you are only billed once a year. In the free version, you can only choose what kind of confetti style you want. Okay, so I seem to have said the same thing for both of them.
Huh?
Okay. They're essentially the same thing. They're both pretty awesome. This one gives you the example beforehand. I'm sorry, I misspoke with the other one. I just seem to have the same writing. The other one was plug and play, let it go, totally free. And this one is the one that is a freemium. And this one is the one that has the 6 options where they give you the example first. So sorry about that confusion there.
Alrighty.
I rate it at 5 dragons.
Cool. Go check it out. All right. We have no ads yet, but hey, we'll eventually get around to it. But we do have...
It's a contest. WordPress plugins from A to Z.
We do. We don't have any new contests right now, but we do have a winner for the contest that we sponsored up through the holidays, the 1-year hosting package valued at $350 from johnoverall.com. And Greg is the winner. Congratulations, Greg. I hope you enjoy that hosting. He's already been in touch with me. He'll be set up real soon and rolling to start playing with a new website on johnoverall.com hosting. And after he likes it so much,
that's awesome.
After he likes it so much, he can tell everyone else about it and send all the clients to see me. All right. So we got to cover up a few things before we go into the Q&A segment. Plugins covered by me on this show was the swinging Hotspot interactive images, which I gave a 4 to, the newspaper columns, which I gave a 4 to, and the WP date and time shortcode, which I gave a 4 to. Hello.
I'm sorry. For some reason, I heard your voice, and I just did not register anything you said.
I put you to sleep. All right.
Nope, my brain is just not fully here today. I've even had caffeine. I don't understand. We're doing the plugins we covered, right?
Yep.
I covered Rocket Fireworks, which I rated at 5, MojoAuth Passwordless Authentication, which I rated at 4, and Confetti, which I rated at 5.
All right. All right. Reminders, commercials. We don't really have anything there. There will be a meetup coming in, hopefully in the springtime. More on that as we get closer and have the weather. I could have it now, have a snow clearing party, and everyone can come clear snow. All right.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Make some hot buttered rum.
Not going to happen. All right. Other than that, we don't have much else. If you'd like to be in an interview show, or some plugin authors or plugin developers, they want to get some promotions, hey, reach out to me for an interview. I haven't done one in a while, and they can do that by going to wpplugins.com/interview to schedule an interview with me. And if you happen to have plugins you'd like to see us review, hey, go to wpplugins.com, submit plugin review to submit those plugins to us. All right, it is time for us to wander into... Oh, we got to close out a couple other things here. No, we do that. We do that after. Yep.
We end the show halfway through the questions.
Yes, we do. I'm sort of out. See what happens? You take an extra week off, you're all out of sync. All right, let's go in here.
It's question and answer time.
Whatever.
So before I get started, if anyone out there has any questions they'd like to have asked on the show, send them in to me at amber@wppro.ca, and we'll get them up here and see if we can stump my dad. My first question is, what initially drew you to computer and then to coding?
Oh God, that goes back. Way back.
It goes back, but what was it that drew your interest? What caught you?
Oh, I was a bit of a math geek at the time. I was in 7th, 8th grade doing advanced algebra. Now I can't. Now I can't. Now
you liked math?
I like math, and then I found out about computers, and I found out you can write code out, and you can make it do anything you want. If you write the right code, you can make them do anything you want.
Okay.
So yeah, I just enjoyed them, and then of course I couldn't touch them for years because I got myself in trouble for hacking. So. And they wouldn't. I wasn't allowed near the computers anymore. So, then I came back to them in the 90s, and then it was all about the code. I've seen some things recently posted up about changing the hexes on code, and I remember doing that briefly. I got into changing the hex of a program.
Changing the hex? What is that?
Your code. Your real code, not the PHP code you read. We're talking that's beyond the PHP code. It's the actual what the computer see or what the computer chip sees. Computers don't see the text that we see. They see ones
and zeros.
That's the hex code.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can actually go edit that and change the output.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with computers. If you dig really deep, you can do a lot of things. And that's what got me. It was like there were so many things. It was like puzzles and puzzles and puzzles. And then you get to create puzzles sometimes. It was just you just keep
So it was the puzzles that really drew you.
Yeah, and it's still the puzzles to me when I am interested in working on computers. I've just been sitting in front of them for so long now. I'd rather be puzzling out plants. You know,
Fair enough.
Growing things is puzzles too. It's all puzzles. It just depends on what puzzles I'm interested in.
My next question is, where do you start when learning about cybersecurity?
Where do you start?
Yeah.
Start with your own computer.
I mean, like, which corner of cybersecurity do you start looking at and learning about?
God, I couldn't even recall where I started. I was just like, oh, we got this security issue here. This is coming in. It's like someone's getting through my firewall. That's basically if you have a problem or you think you might have a problem, you start on the security for that. Security for your program, security for your server, security on your local computer. The biggest one is start with your local computer. You know, the computer at your desktop, and start security there, and it expands out from there. You know,
so really you should probably start with learning what kind of security flaws your computer may have.
Yeah, start with your computer and move from there. And you know, the biggest flaws in security is the human equation.
The human element.
The human element, because there's ultra secure systems out there that get hacked into, and it's not because somebody breached their firewalls, it's because someone breached the humans that have access to the terminals.
Yeah.
And they can breach the humans in multiple ways. One of the biggest ways that a lot of white hat penetration testers do is they go by a big company that has a lot of employees going in and out the front door, and they go scatter a few flash drives out in front.
Yeah. That is a favorite, I think.
Yeah, well, it still works, which is surprising that it still works. You know,
it still works? Wow.
Oh yeah, it still works.
I guess it's not too surprising. Humans are innately curious.
Humans are innately curious. Somebody's walking in, they see a flash drive, they pick it up. You know, it's like, oh, I wonder what's on it. And without thinking, they plug it into their work computer to see what's on it. Thinking, well, I don't want to infect my computer. No, let's infect your entire company's network. So... Yeah, humans are the biggest problem in cybersecurity, and they always will be. Humans, because humans, we are manipulatable. I mean, that's why phishing emails still arrive in there. It's like even every once in a while, I'll still see one that's like, holy crap, that's almost real.
I've seen a couple of those, yeah.
Some of them are really good. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and so they work on people. You know, it's psychology. All right.
Tip your hat to the ones, man. It is talent.
Yep. Read out your last question, and we'll close out the show for those listening on the podcast.
All right. What is the biggest threat that you are worried about facing this next year in cybersecurity?
Oh, that's a beauty. All right. We're going to let my girl take us on out of here, and we'll come back and answer that question.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsaToZ.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsaToZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsaToZ.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsAtoZ. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
All right, let's see that question here. What's the biggest threat you're worried about facing this next year in cybersecurity? I don't know what would be the biggest threat. There's so many threats out there, and I try not to worry about things. All I do is I worry about the stuff that I have some control over. You know, my tech team, you know, is keeping the servers. You know, I have 5 servers right now, and keeping my servers secure is one of the biggest things that I'm always worried about. It's not just this year, it's last year, the year before, it's every year going forward. It's like towards the end of, or middle of the end of December, there was a great big thing about I can't remember the file that was a major security threat to all the servers out there running Linux. And of course, my servers are on Linux. And when I looked into it on mine, well, it turns out I never even used that particular program or file on any of my servers.
Well, that's good. So
this saved me the hassle of worrying about it instead of having to go through. But I did go and check. And there's always the biggest things out there. The biggest threats out there is a new 0-day flaw that hasn't been discovered yet, you know, or that has been discovered and is quietly being exploited until they get their exploitation and then they sell it to the rest of the world. You know, once they sell it out on the black market, and it becomes a problem before the people who fix things. You know, it's a constant battle between the white hats and the black hats out there. You know, and it's an arms race.
And cyber crime has taken a huge uptick since everybody's stuck at home.
Oh yeah, well,
nothing better to do.
No, they've got nothing better to do, but they've also got more targets now than they used to, because
that too.
Because now you've got all the people at home that they can attack. You know, and there's a lot of people sitting at home with insecure networks. You know, not as many as there used to be. Like it's really bad. It's been really bad in the past, you know, with insecure networks. But it's
most internets come with a decent security key now.
They do. They used to all come with the same security key though.
Yep, they used to. They
used to all come. It was admin or something to that essence. Like anyone could sit outside with a Pringles can and an antenna and point it at your house and grab specifically your Wi-Fi and just type in admin. They're into your Wi-Fi. Now they're into your whole network.
Yeah.
You know, so fortunately, a lot of that has been fixed, but there's still flaws and there's still things out there, and people do things that are just downright crazy. It's hard to know. I mean, there's some scary predictions out there right now as to what's going to...
Which there always are.
Well, yeah, but some of them have a little more viability than others. You know, like there's fears of attacks on the financial networks, you know, which is a big fear right now.
Also the power grid.
Well, power grids, they've already gone after power grids. The hackers have already gone after power grids. They went after oil pipeline last year, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So by going after these things, it's really kind of a problematic. In particular, going after the power grids or going after the financial networks. So it's hard to say. There's no one thing that I worry about. It's just a whole bunch of little things to be concerned about. Not even worry, just concern. You know, and you just...
Actually, I have one more question for you that's not written down. I've been reading more often lately about organized cyber crime.
Yeah.
Like gangs of cyber criminals. Is that actually new, or is that something that has been around for a while? You just didn't hear about it.
You didn't really hear about them. They've been around for a while. You got to remember the the organized crime, when they see an area to make money, they quickly expropriate all the people that are doing it as individuals and get them working.
Yeah,
for
that
them.
is true.
And so basically, and then they conglomerate and they come together. The other thing is, you get a couple of people that are that are in the criminal element, and they very talented hackers. They bind together, they find friends, they build up a network. And no, it's been around. The problem is that for a while there, they were relatively low keyed in what they did. But with Bitcoin and others, they went mainstream. They went mainstream probably in the early mid 2000s when they first started infecting people with phishing emails where they would encrypt their entire networks. And it's like, you have this many hours and I'll send you a key. Send me this amount of Bitcoin. So it's always been around. Criminal elements have always been around. It's just they've got more high profile now than they used to.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. All right.
Well, that's all my questions.
That's
Didn't get
it.
to stump you this time.
No, that's all right. That's all we got, folks. Hey, don't forget, you can reach out to us. If you like the videos, the podcast, like and subscribe to everything. You can find us on all kinds of places: Stitcher, Google Play, podcasting 2.0. I can't remember the name of that site. So all kinds of stuff you can find us. All right, let others know. And I think that's all we got. So I'm going to take us out of here with a little bit of Days of Thunder.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread we're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
Alrighty, folks. That's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Alrighty, we're off the air.